All right. I think I'm recording. Yeah, I got the old GoPro. I got the GoPro out on my bike. I am in Muncie, Indiana, my hometown. This is the street I grew up on. I'm gonna have a blast from the past. I'm gonna ride around. I just got done visiting my mom in the hospital for about an hour and a half. Visiting Dad. This is the street I grew up on. Right here, this is the house. This is the house right there. It's changed a lot. We didn't have all that jungle growing around, but right there in the front yard is where I read my first Marvel comic book. And that's, they actually own a couple houses on this block. My dad didn't want, he owns a couple houses on the block on that side. He doesn't like college rental. This whole town, this whole neighborhood, when I was growing up, wasn't college rentals. There was a few, but now it's like 50-50, and it's gone downhill a little bit. It's still a nice block, but yeah, that 1308 right there, that's where I grew up. And right there in the front yard, sitting in a chair, is where I first I read my first Marvel comic book, and it was from a kid from that house right there named Danny Leard. He gave me a Fantastic Four and a stack of old torn up Marvel. So I'm gonna ride around town. I'm gonna ride around Muncie a little bit. School is not in, Ball State is not in, so there's not a lot. This town's pretty crowded, but that's the house. This yellow house right here is the house my best friend grew up in, Eric English. It's kind of a trip being back. Kind of a trip being back in this neighborhood, seeing my old buddies' houses. All my neighborhood. We had a little neighborhood gang, but we were mostly like comic book readers, Star Wars fanatics. It's right off the edge of Ball State. Here's the start of the Ball State campus. This is an apartment complex for Ball State campus. I'm gonna run by Bob's Comic Castle. I'm going the wrong way, but I'm gonna run by Bob's Comic Castle and see if that's still in business. That'd be a trip. That's still around. But yeah, this is the Ball State University campus. Oh, I know where I want to go. I want to go to the place where we used to play tackle football and play baseball. The Hazelwood Churchyard. It's like with oh geez, these sidewalks are garbage in this town. Jesus, my GoPro's gonna be everywhere. This is Hazelwood Christian Churchyard. I basically grew up on this churchyard. We play football right here, and down in that bowl. I'll get around. There used to be a big iron fence here, a big green iron fence. This is crazy, being back over here. But yeah, this is the old Hazelwood Churchyard. Talk about memories coming back. This is our football field and our baseball field. As little kids. God, it's gone downhill. But we used to climb up on top of that mansion up there. We used to dress up like ninjas when we were about 13 years old, and we'd climb on top of that mansion over there. But this is where we would ride our BMX bikes and jump out of this bowl. There was like a lip on the pond. This used to be a pond. But when I was a little kid, it wouldn't. But I'd come over here and sit here on the edge of this and read comic books, and we bring our action figures over here. But yeah, this right here is where we'd get a big start. We'd put a refrigerator box right over there, and we'd come hauling ass down here and come down this lip, and then there was a trail like a bike trail, and we jump off that lip right there and go over refrigerator boxes on our BMX bikes. Wow, this is crazy. This is nuts being back here. I haven't been over here in so long. Oh my God. So this is University Avenue. So let's get going. I hope I turned off the voice activated thing. If I say a word that sounds like stop or something like that, well, there I go, I just said it. My friend John Hollingsworth used to live over there. His dad was a doctor. But then we would just walk. I had access to comic book shops. This is the village. This is the Ball State Village. This has changed a lot. That used to be a department store. They call this the village. I just walk, you know, it's a 5-minute walk from my house. And I had comic books, pizza places. There was a Stop and Shop comic book store around here. It was awesome. Right. I'd skip class in my high school, and yeah, right in here where that tanning place is. Oh, it's a dump now. That used to be a record shop. That's where I would skip class. I would skip, because my high school is only a couple minutes west of here, but that used to be a Stop and Shop, and I'd go in there, skip class, and I'd get comic books when I was a freshman in high school. Hope I don't run over a nail. There's a lot of this campus, a lot of broken glass and stuff. This is nothing like Greenville. People just, whoops, these kids just don't care. These kids do not care. It's a shame. I'm gonna head down White River Boulevard after I go through the campus real quick. This place is packed in there's a Mexican grill. All this is new. But yeah, I had they also had comic books over in this building called the Student Center. This was the Pittenger Student Center. Yeah, I'm gonna head down. I'm not gonna go full on into Ball State. I'm gonna head over to White River Boulevard and see if Bob's Comic Castle's still there. That would be crazy. I haven't been by there, and it was still there in 2011, because 2011 is like the last time I've been back here. Like walking around, you know, not walking around, but like driving around other than my mom and dad's house. It's a beautiful day. Kind of windy, but hope this is recording. Let me see. I think it is. So let me, yeah, go down here, let me take a little blast to the past. I used to ride my BMX bike. We used to ride our bikes down here. There was a movie theater down here as well. It's where I first saw Star Wars in 1977. It's not there anymore. They closed down the cinema and made it a Dunham Sporting Goods. But hell, that's been That's been since the mid 80s. So let's get on down here. It's been over a week since I've been on my bike. It's been 8 days since I've been on my bike. Crazy. I did ride over to the hospital to visit my mom though, so I got a little riding in. This is White River Boulevard. And we used to ride this as kids on the side. My mom used to get mad because, you know, during the weekday, this is busy. I don't care. But we didn't care. This was leading out to comic book shops. That's all I cared about. These train tracks are still here. This is the train. We got stopped at this train on the way to seeing Star Wars. It was a super hot day. Video games, buy, sell, or trade. That used to be the movie theater. Flea market. Rob's. Captain Rob's. I'm gonna have to see. Weekend Warriors Flea Market. What a dump. Wizard's Keep. Oh, they still have a Wizard's Keep where they sell Dungeons and Dragons shit. I wonder if they have comic books in there. But this used to be, this is a blast from the past. Retro arcade. 7 days a week. Sonic. This used to be cinema. And this is where I saw Star Wars in 1977. Open. Business hours. Pops and Plush. Fuds. Video game, buy, sell, trade, and play. Retro. Nice. 10 to 9. I may have to come back here sometime. Please no outside food or drinks. But yeah, that was the cinema that I watched. They had virtual reality. Retro arcade. Going to play some Pac-Man. Yeah, that's the cinema in 1977 that I saw Star Wars. I saw a lot of movies there. Like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I got a Wizard's Keep. So around here used to be Bob's Comic Castle, and there it is. He's moved. It used to be around the edge. Bob's Comic Castle. Right there. I worked there for 2 months in 1985. They are open. Wow. I ought to go in, but I don't have my charger stick. I don't have my stick for my GoPro on me. That would be crazy. It's still here. It is still here. I bet it's dead. But yeah, I used to get some comic books there, and I would run the register on Saturdays for a little while in 1985 for him, right before my 16th birthday. Wow. He's still there. I bet it's... I might have to start coming down, seeing what's going on with old Bobby. I don't even know if he still runs it. Maybe they just didn't change the name. Doesn't look like he's very prosperous. We'll see. I might take the GoPro in there sometime and have a talk with him. There's no way, if it's the same guy, there's no way he's gonna remember me. Not from 1985. He only paid me like a couple bucks. He'd pay me like $2-3 in a day, but he'd give me some comic books. That was like gold, son. I didn't give a fuck. So this has not changed much at all. Crazy being back here. They've got a nice bike trail here called the Cardinal Gateway or something. Open Door Health Services. This entire building used to be a Ross's grocery store. This is where my mom would grocery shop, and I would get the majority of my comic books in the late 70s. This is where I first started reading the X-Men, stuff like that. There's no Ross here now. I don't know. That used to be the Ross's grocery store. We used to ride our bikes all this way. When we were 13, 14 years old, this was a bike ride. But I'm not even close to Bright's Book Exchange out there on the edge of town, which I know is not there anymore. But we used to ride on this busy street. This street is called Tillotson, I believe. Yeah. But we would come down here. We would ride our bikes this way and go over this bridge, and then turn right up at the stoplight way up there, and head down the side of the road. And it was just a little bit of gravel. I got a car behind me. I gotta be heads up a little more. I'm taking down the memory lane here. We used to ride over this bridge as kids. And I'm a good 1.5 miles from my mom and dad's house now. This is the Tillotson overpass. But I used to come down here. My mom ever found out that we rode our bikes out here, because I'm not even close to Bright's Book Exchange, she would have put a stop to that real quick. Maybe not when I'm 14, but I started going out there when I was about 11 or 12 years old. And we'd ride our bikes. Yeah, there's no bike path here. But we get on here. Yeah, this is West State Road 32. We get out here on our bikes and just try to haul ass to get our comic. That's where my comic book folder was. Let's see what's out here now. I'm still a ways away from it. As a kid, this is a long ride. Like this was like an adventure, like a journey. Some days we were just like, we tried to bum a ride. Me and my buddy Eric, we just didn't feel like riding out here. We tried to bum a ride to get to the comic book shop on the outskirts of town. Why I'm doing this, I don't know. For exercise, I guess. I'm straight into the wind. Wouldn't want to get a flat tire this far out. Wonder what's out here instead of Bright's Book Exchange. I haven't been on this road in, hell, it's been 30 years since I've been on this road. Probably more than that, 35, 40 years. I have no idea what's out here. They've changed this road because this part wasn't here 40 years ago. This building right here, ooh, there's a nice car, nice Corvette. This building right here was Bright's Book Exchange. Now it's crystal glass. But right back in here was their comic book, was their dedicated comic book section. This part of the building right back here, where I first saw comic books in a glass case. They had an old glass case from a flea market or something. But this is where I went nuts over comic books. Crazy. The building is still the same. Yeah, it said Bright's Book Exchange, comic books, big sign. I remember 1980 is when I first saw it. My mom and dad were driving. My mom and dad had used to rent out some farmland on the outskirts of town, and they had where they would have strawberries, and we'd go out and pick the strawberries and on a Friday night, and then maybe go to the drive-in theater. They had a drive-in movie out here, and then, you know, we'd go out to eat and go pick strawberries for an hour. And that's when they drove by and I saw that comic books, and that was 1980, I believe. I'm like, comic books. So the next day I was out there, and then like 1981, 82, they started doing the folders. They started doing the comic book folders. I was all about it, but it wasn't my main spot. I mean, it was my main spot to get comic books, but I only made it out here twice a month. This was like a long journey for me. Yeah, I only made it out here twice a month. But it was a big thing to, yeah, on the way back, there's no bike shoulder. This used to not be here. This would have been nice to have when we were kids. They've changed this. They've developed all this stuff over here used to not be here. All these medical facilities used to not be here. This was just all empty fields and what have you. So they had to extend they had to make a bunch of changes. But hell, like I said, I haven't been out here in 40 years. Wow. Yeah, because Bright's Book Exchange, right around 1987, I think Bright's Book Exchange went out, and I had stopped coming out there. Like the last year I started having my comic book folder was 1986, my senior year of high school. So that's the last time I've been out here. Crazy. For me anyway. And no one really gives a shit, but I do. Now I'm getting in my 50s. Like all this looking back stuff. It's kind of cool. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I prefer riding in Greenville. Muncie kind of sucks. This is the west side of Muncie. My mom and dad live kind of on the central north side of Muncie more. So I've seen the old building at the cinema that I first saw Star Wars. I think it was called the White River Cinema, but it closed up sometime in the early 80s. It closed. Oh, this is a problem here. Oh boy, I didn't think this through very well. I sure didn't think this through. Thank you for moving over for 1 second. Let's get off this mess. Cooper Tire. I've had my tires done by them a few times. A long time ago. God, they've run down. This town is run down. I hate to see it. This was such a nice town I grew up in. During the time that I grew up, this was such a nice little town. It's what happens when you elect Democrats. I'm not kidding either. This is what happens. The roads, nothing gets fixed. They'll talk about, but they want to talk about the environment. Oh, there's a trail down there. Oh, I should be on that. I forgot about the trail down by the river. I should be on that, you dummy. Let's do it right now. Oh, baby. This is West Side Park. I don't know where this leads. I do not remember. I don't know if this leads down by the river or not, but we're going to try it. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. But yeah, you elect Democrats. Yeah, this is what happens when you elect Democrats. And in the mid-'80s, they elected a big-time liberal Democrat and ran out all the good jobs, and nothing ever got fixed. They just total pat themselves on the back, big talkers with great ideas and good intentions, and that's good enough. The actual results, not so important. Their hearts are in the right places. So is their pocketbooks. And they're corrupt as the day is long. I don't mean to go on a tirade, but when I see this town, it boils my blood the way it used to be. And I'm not talking about this part. I'm talking about when I drive through downtown and everything else. They're all about their academic elites, though. They don't want to offend those academic elites, supposedly. They're dumbasses. Yeah. I mean, they're actually dumbasses. Nothing elite about them, except their delusion. Their delusions are elite. Oh, look at that. Oh, the stork. But yeah. Yeah, I think my senior year of high school, that Mayor Wilson went to school with his daughter. The high school, going under the train trestle here. But This used to be a beautiful little town. They called it Middletown, America. They don't call it, now they call it Little Chicago. Yeah. So, you know. Democrats and their highfalutin ideals that never pan out. They like to tell you what a piece of crap you are and how wonderful they are, but they don't have to produce the receipts from their results, because they have no results. It's all hot air and money skimming. But you know, there's been so many government scandals in this town since then. It's unbelievable. That was a turtle laying on the rock. But yeah, it's kind of cool to come back here. I'm glad I don't live here though. Let's put it that way. I'm happy I don't live here. Hey, I think I have a way up here. I think I can get off of this. I wouldn't mind riding this every day though, but I wouldn't want to live in Muncie. I've seen, oh, I gotta climb. Lower that gear. Oh, lower it. Let's go. Whew, this is gonna be a workout. This is good. My bike's made for this though. Yeah. Get that leg workout today. I think my dad wants to take me to the cafeteria later. He's like, oh, I never sleep. And he's snoring his head off in his chair. I mowed their lawn for them. My dad can do it. He's got an electric. He sold his zero turn, his Cub Cadet. My dad is 85. 85 years old. He might be 86. My mom is 82. My mom is 82 years old. The Campus Connection. Yeah, that's where they sell you booze. I got to talk to my nephew today too. I got to FaceTime my nephew. He's at Purdue. He's at Purdue University. He's 21 years old. Already has his commercial pilot's license. I said, oh, you can run the big drugs. We need a Colombian connection. He's like, you gonna go up with me? No, I'm not gonna do that. I like my feet on the ground. No, I'll go up with him sometime. But yeah, he's got 250 hours. He's certified now, I guess, or he's almost ready to be certified as a commercial pilot. He's 21 years old. He's a gymnast. Freaking, yeah. Oh, and the kid's got a head of hair on him. I'm so jealous. I was talking to him. So jealous. But yeah, he's at Purdue University. He's doing very well, and he's taking summer school. He's rooming with a dude off campus. But yeah, my sister FaceTimed him. My sister's 7 years older than me. She's just turned 60. She doesn't look it. She looks great. She looks wonderful. But here we go. This is the street I grew up on. You talk about a flood of memories coming back. That's where Todd Hunter lived. That's where the Ball brothers lived. We used to play Shogun Warriors, read comic books. And My buddy Ken Marsh lived on the side here. He moved to Louisiana when I was like 14 years old. He ended up moving to Louisiana. There's my car. Yeah, that's a little going down. Oh, I know where I want to go. I want to check out one of my best friend's houses and see if he's still, see if his mom is still living there. That'd be a trip. I know his dad passed away. My friend growing up, Anthony Edmonds, who we were pretty tight up until like 84, 85. Then he was a year older than me. He started acting like a dick. He was a grade above me, so once we went to the same high school, he couldn't be seen with me. It wasn't cool because he was a grade above me. Yeah, that's his house. Wow, that's changed a lot. Oh, they don't live there anymore. That was his house. He had the good comic book collection. He's the guy that showed me, the guy that lived here. He was the guy that showed me how to bag and board them and all that stuff. He had that Iron Man #1. He had an awesome collection. He had Defenders #1, Iron Man #1, Avengers #1. He had a bunch of. He was just a year older than me too. Crazy. Now this street is where my paper route was on. This street right here was my paper route all the way down. And then I would come up the other side. This was not here when I was a kid, this building over here. This was not here. The church is still here though. I would deliver to that church down there. None of this was here. But yeah, this was another street that my paper route was on. Wow, it's crazy being back here. This is nuts. Like, I'm remembering my customers' names. There was a blind lady that had cataracts, and she'd give me like, thinking she was giving me dollar bills, and she'd give me like 10s and 20s. And I felt so bad. But a couple times I took them and didn't say a word. I was a terrible kid. Wow, what an asshole. Terrible kid. I had to get my comic books though, man. Ooh. Yeah, buddy. All right. Well, that's gonna do it. It's my little walk down memory lane there. Oh boy, went all the way out to where Bryce Book Exchange was. It's not as far when you're an adult. It seemed like across the world. When I was a kid, it seemed like across the world. All right, I'm signing off.